Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Civilization video. Like usual, this is Legend Ronnie and I'm here to present you another video. I had this couple of questions asked a couple of times and it was also a request from a couple of people. Gem spending and about the alliance. So I'm gonna talk about both of them. Obviously you can see my power. And I can tell you that I do spend some money in the game, so obviously I can give you some advices. Probably some of the best advices, since I do spend a little. And before that, don't do this to me. This is my city right now, and I want to make a challenge for you. I want you to do a better city than mine. So this is how mine looks like now as a design. I also have an Instagram, so you can check the descriptions below if you want to check my Instagram. I will try to upload pictures, like daily pictures, and this is going to be a challenge for you. I'm challenging you, do a better design city than mine. Right, so now let's go into the gem spending. My mysterious merchant is going to leave in 23 minutes. The first thing you want to spend your gems on, if you're not going to buy bundles, you need to get to VIP level 6. Because you unlock the second build queue, so you do not have to spend any more on that fella. Because it's like 150 gems all the time. You also have the shop. My personal advice is do not bother spending on this shop. This should be like a last resort of emergency. So you should only spend on this like it is the last thing you can do. For example, you might, not over here, you might want to buy a shield. So if it's really an emergency and you really need to buy a shield, then go ahead, because this is like full price items. Okay, on the merchant that I'm going to show you right now, they are all reduced, and the speed up as well. This is full price. If I go to my items, I check the boost, you can see that I have a couple of items from each, because I bought them from the shop when they are very reduced price. So I have them. If I need to use something, I have it. And it is very important that you do have a bit of everything. You never know when you might need it. Same with the movement keys and resetting your hero talents. It is very good to have a bit of everything. Now let's go into the shop. This is what I'm spending in the shop. These are basically cards. These are resources cards. Resources cards which you can use them whenever you need them. For example, you're in a war, in a battle. You've seen my videos when I did battles and when I was warring with others, fighting with others, that having a lot of resources cards is very helpful. And this is 90%. That's the only way I'm buying resources, if they are 90%. The second thing that I'm spending on is these ones. If they are 40%, sometimes even 30%. They cost only resources. You can farm the resources in game, and you can save up Speed Rush, which you can use it in events, like the event that is right now, the Mightiest Governor. If you have a lot of Speed Rush, you can speed up some buildings, and you can get a higher rank, and you can get more rewards. So there you go. Don't need gems for that. So I'm buying this one out. You can see these are 50%. I'm not even interested in them. 50% is way too low. The second thing that I'm buying all the time is the experience. I don't care what percentage of reduced price they are. I'm buying them. Experience, I'm buying everything when it comes to experience. A very important item that I highly recommend to you, especially when you know you have time to play, are these items. Increase the gathering speed of all type of resources by 50%. And check on this one. You have to spend resources. And this one is for 24 hours. So think about that in 24 hours you can farm quite a large amount of resources. You can buy this item maybe even 10 times. So make sure you have these kind of items. You don't really need to spend gems on them. You can see this one is on gems, but you can also spend them on resources. Now you have the free. I'm using the free one. You can see 80%. I'm not interested. 90%. I am interested. Then it comes the gem spending. Look at that, 70%. Sometimes they are 80%, but that's very, very rare. But 70% is very, very good. I don't even think about it. I'm just buying it. So that's the way I make resources. That's the way I have speed rush, to train more armies, to participate into the events, because there is events where you have to train troops. So this is where the cards come in very handy. Then I have this one and this one, and unfortunately I don't have wood because I'm researching a lot, and I'm not gonna think about it. I'm gonna spend cards because they do worth it. So I'm buying them. You can see this one is 50%, is 225 gems or 300,000 wood. So there is like 3 of them over here, but I have plenty of them, so I'm not really going to buy this. This experience I don't even think about. I'm just buying all the experience. You need as much experience as you can get. For the purpose of the video, I'm refreshing forward. That was a mistake. I was just hair trigger. I don't usually buy gold. I don't highly advise you to buy gold. So I'm buying this one. This one is about 70%. It depends how much you're interested to put in the game. I personally, sometimes, because it's the governor event, I'm buying the 60% ones. But that is up to you how much you want to spend in the game. My recommendation is 70% and 80%. But before you want to buy the speed rush, there are other items that you might want to look into, and I showed you. Having a shield, for example, you can see this one is 40%. Sometimes they are 70-60%, so you can buy very cheap shield, which you can have it for later on. Same is this one, which is the talent reset. Now it's only 30%, but I found them even 50 and 60%, which you can buy them and you can have them for later. So there is resource management. This is what is called resource management. Don't just go ahead and throw in your gems. And obviously the experience, and I refresh one more time for the video, but this one. I was talking about 80%. Unfortunately, they are only the 5 minutes, but they are good. 50, 60%. I don't highly recommend to save up a lot of these, because you cannot use the enhanced attack or the enhanced defense. You cannot use this one with the reconnaissance item. And when you fight with someone or when you battle with someone, the reconnaissance item is much more important than having some attack and defense. This is just my opinion. But if you're far behind and you're just defending someone, your troops might be a little bit better if you have an enhanced item increasing either your attack or your defense. Boom, boom, and boom. That's a lot of experience. So that's about it with the merchant. I don't usually spend gems refreshing just one time. So I just spend 100 gems for refreshing. But if you're not going to spend in the game, then you just have the free refresh and then wait for the next mysterious merchant. So that is what my advice on what you should spend your gems. The reason I was refreshing so much because I was trying to get more and more items to give you more options what to spend on. You can see that I have 24 hours resources. I try to keep them up as well. Anti-reconnaissance items. I have everything I need if there is going to be a war breakthrough. I have speed ups, a lot of healing resources, and a lot of items, obviously. Thank you for the sub, whoever was that. And you can see that the experience cards, they are piling up. So whenever I want to level up a commander, like in case of an emergency, I have what is needed. And the speed up is very good to use it during the events. Now again, I'm showing you my city. I want to show off. Right, so now I'm gonna talk about Alliance. Since you know, or you didn't know, I am the leader of my alliance, Art of Conquest. Obviously, most of the things you know, I just want to show you what is very important. Obviously, the first important thing about an alliance is helping. Alright, whenever you see this one, you just go in and click it without thinking. On the war, you can see if there is any rallies and all that. You have the holy sites, if your alliance has any holy sites. You have your territory. This is one important place when you want to check every now and then, because these resources do pile up, so all you have to do is just go ahead and claim, and you claim the resources. You have your central fortresses. This is the maximum amount of fortresses that one alliance can have. The flag, the limitation of flags, you can do that from the research to expand the limitation of the flags. Then you have the alliance resources, which this one is quite a bit of an importance. It is very good to try and balance them. When you want to build a flag, it's going to tell you the amount of resources that the flag costs. And you can see that the gold is at the moment the lowest one. Then is the stone, and obviously the most of it is the food and the wood. So it is very important to try to balance them. Then it's also very important when you place flags, the way you place them. Always check the layout. And why I mean the layout is look around, because maybe sometimes when you want to place a flag, you can take a resource. So instead of just throwing away a flag, you can basically take an extra resource for your alliance. And I'm trying to find one and I just don't find it. What I have the best example, I can give it to you over here. I don't really need this one, but just for the purpose of the video. For example, if you want to place the flag like that, is wrong. If you want to place the flag like this, is again wrong. If you want to place the flag like this, come on, what's wrong with you? This is a good way to place the flag. The reason is I'm getting closer to the next one. I'm getting closer to the next resource. It also makes a huge difference what is the purpose of placing the flag. Because maybe you just want to connect with the enemy land, and then it's another different story. But the point is, when you place a flag, is try to cover as much land as possible. That is the main reason. And the second reason, try to get resources for the alliance, because the resources are for everyone, not just for the alliance. Everyone gets resources. So that is the territory. This is the storage, obviously, which is shows the credits and stuff like that, which you can expand it as well. Then you have the gifts. So obviously, participating in the alliance rallies and doing a lot of forts, and if the people are active, obviously you are going to get a lot of keys. You are going to increase your gift level, and I already showed in one of the video. what this treasure of the white crystal can give you. So it's very nice. Technology, I'm going to talk about it the last one because it's the most one to talk about. Then you have your members, you have your ranks, rank 4, rank 3, rank 2 and rank 1. And there is a very informative information button over here, which I highly advise that you check it. So you can see that between rank 1 and rank 2 is not much of a difference. Rank 3 and rank 4, this is where it's getting interesting. You can see that it says here build alliance flags. You do not want people to spend your resources without a good reason, but you do want people to be able to put out the fires. So you have to think carefully which players you are going to keep as a rank 3. There is no difference, they don't get no other bonuses. This is the only bonus they get if they are rank 3 officers. Rank 4 officers, you've seen over there, they have a little bit more advantages. They can put alliance mark, build alliance buildings, members removal, application removal, invitation, upgrade, downgrade the members, and obviously the leader has the other benefits. And this is what I'm talking about. Rank 4 officers, they have these bonuses: Counselor, Warlord, Envoy, and Saintess. And if you want to ask me, the Saintess is the best bonus that you can get as a rank 4 officer. I usually and personally keep the rank 1, who are the new players, the inactive that I want to monitor, because obviously you want to keep an active alliance, and 3, the players that are going to be kicked or close to kicked if it's needed. So yeah, but Rush Impact, he's a new player, and some other they are new players, but the ones lower in power, they are pretty inactive. So then you have the settings, you have the invitation, alliance disbandment. Oh no. If you do this, all the territories, they are gone. On the settings, you already know, you can put the tag, you can put the name, you can put the announcement. And about the announcement, you can see that I am allied with these following alliances. Now this is another advice I want to give you: try to make as many friends as possible. It is very important. But when you want to make new friends, just make sure you know a bit of their capabilities, check who they are allied with, try to be in the same group of the alliance, because it might get in the future a conflict where you are in the middle and you have to choose between left and right, and it's going to be really hard. So it's very important that you pay attention who you are going to ally with. At the beginning of the game, my advice is to let anyone can join, and then you just start to removing whoever is inactive, whoever is not playing. But at the beginning, anyone can join. After that, application is needed. Alliance list, is that the strongest in power? Most likely. And then you have the rankings. These particular rankings are just for your alliance. So these particular rankings are just for this alliance. So this is the alliance help, and this is another way you can check the inactivity of players. I personally try to monitor their power. If their power doesn't move, I consider him inactive. But this is another way you can check activity of players. You can see the amount of times I helped, and you can see the amount of times some of these people done. So this is 0 in 3 days, or 5 or 16. So these are pretty inactive at this point. and this is the amount of times I help. So this can tell you how much time I spend in the game. So I pretty much spend a lot of time. Then you have the resources assistance, the best contribution, and I'm gonna explain about this, how this one works. The best contribution is when you donate for your alliance, for your technology. Killing machine individual power, right. Daily donation ranking. So this is what that contribution it is about. The best way you can be always on these rankings and always get a good rank, it is quite important, because you can see only 30 people get this. You get some resources is if you spend your alliance technology, if you have like 6 or 10 of these at least. So if you have like 6 of 10 of these, when you donate, it gives you a higher chance of critical hit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see it did like 3 critical hits. If I had like 10, I would have a small chance of being a 10 times critical hit. So if it's quite alright if you do like 6 of 10 chances at once. And this is very important to keep donating, because this will benefit the alliance overall. So now I'm going to talk about the technology and probably one of the most important, if not the most important. Should I start with the first one? I'm going to start with the first one. At the beginning, in the lower levels, the very important one that you want to increase is this one, to increase the members limit by another 10. Because it's very simple, strength in numbers, the more the better. It's as simple as that. So this is the first one that you want to increase to max. And then is Together We Rise, but not like 4 out of 5. I would do like 3 out of 5 only at the beginning. So this one, but only 3 out of 5. It does help a little bit, because in the beginning, in the lower levels, upgrading, it doesn't take that much, it doesn't take that long. So adding a bit of the speed up time on the help, when someone helps you, is going to help you a lot more. So this one is the first one that you should max out. Then is this one. The reason I'm not saying the others, and I'm going to explain it right now. In the beginning, the commander, they are very easy to level up. So let's say to bring a commander to level 40 is very easy. It doesn't take much of effort. Another couple % on the experience, it will not change much. Regular army, the damage increase 1, 2, 3%. The barbarians, they are low level, they are very easy to do, everyone is able to do them. A couple of percentage increasing their damage, it will not change a lot, but later on in the game, like I am now, like after 6 weeks, they are a little bit stronger, so an extra bonus, it will help. It's same for the commanders. The commanders, they are much higher in level now, so obviously a little bit of bonus, it will help. Then it comes the research as well. In the early levels, the research, it doesn't take too long to research, so a couple of percentage, it will not matter. But now if I want to show some research, they take up to 30 days, 38 days, so every 1% for me and for everyone else, it doesn't matter. It's same for the city construction, it doesn't take that many days, a couple will not matter. So it's very important, as I mentioned, the resource management. So these are the first one that you do in the early levels. Then the next one you should focus on is the flag quantity, because you might want to be able to build a number of flags. then you need to increase your storehouse. After that, territory guardian. When you defend on your own territory, you're going to have an advantage. And obviously, rapid march. Your troops will move much faster on your own territory, and especially when you're moving towards, what does it says here, speed when marching to target that is an alliance territory. So when you're marching to your flags, for example, the march speed is increased. So obviously this is another very important one, especially when you want to defend. So these are the second one you should do. The flag quantity, I'm not sure if you really need to do the flag durability, but the flag quantity, territory guardian, rapid march. And then, because we had to defend a lot, we went on the war ones to increase our attack on our troops and a little bit of defense. But once you've done this, if you are going to be a conqueror, then obviously you should focus on this one and be able to burn down some flags and buildings faster. But later on in the game, you have to move back and do these ones and move these ones forward, because for the development of everyone, these are very, very important. Getting more experience, killing barbarians faster, gathering more resources, faster research, faster construction building. So later on in the game, the development is very, very important. The only reason I have built up the war one is because I was in a lot of battles and I have videos to prove it. So I had to try to boost ourselves as much as possible to be able to defend and stand. So it's a matter of situations. This is the reason why we also have the territory guardian and rapid march. So it's matters of situation. If it's peaceful, then you might be able to skip this one and maybe just go on the development, flag quantities, or whatever it is needed. You have to analyze the situation of your alliance, if you are in a lot of war or not. Alright, so this was a 27 minutes video. This was quite long. Alright, so gem spending and alliance, this was the video about. And let's check someone else's city, because I think you can see them, isn't it? Do they have a nice layout? Oh my god. Bytes. This looks so sad with those trees over there. And if I go into mine, this is quite a bit of a difference, isn't it? It looks a little bit more colorful, roads everywhere, palm trees. Looks like a nice place to visit. Alright, so that was about it, about this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. This is Legend Ronnie. Peace out.